Empowered by the winds of Runeterra, Janna is a mystical elemental spirit, a guardian of the downtrodden in Zaun. Many believe she was born from the prayers of sailors, desperate for calm skies and safe passage through perilous seas. Over time, her blessings extended beyond the oceans, reaching the shadowed alleys of Zaun, where she became a symbol of hope for the helpless. Her appearances are unpredictable, but one thing is certain: whenever she is needed the most, Janna is there, offering her protection. Welcome lore lovers to Linedrag. Today, we are diving into the windswept legend of Janna, the guardian of Zaun and spirit of the skies. From her origins as a sailor's prayer to her enduring presence in the streets of Zaun and Piltover, Janna's story is a timeless tale of hope and resilience. So, settle in and let's uncover the mysteries of the wind's grace. From the unseen currents of Runeterra's winds emerges Janna, a mystical spirit born of air and storm, guardian of Zaun's Forsaken. Whispers claim her existence was shaped by the heartfelt prayers of sailors, their voices lifted to the skies as they sought gentle breezes to guide them through perilous seas. Over time, her presence found its way to Zaun's depths, a city yearning for deliverance. Here, Janna became a silent sentinel of hope, appearing without warning, yet always in the hour of need. Seafarers of Runeterra hold countless superstitions, their lives entwined with the mercurial moods of the weather. Some sprinkle salt across their decks to placate the ocean, others toss their first cash back into the waves, offerings of humility to the sea's vast powers. Amid these rituals, many turn their pleas to the wind itself, yearning for safe passage and unbroken skies. In these fervent cries, it is said, Janna's essence took shape. Her beginnings were subtle, a whisper in the storm. Mariners spoke of a bright blue bird heralding favorable winds, its fleeting appearance a sign of fortune. Others swore they heard an eerie whistle in the air before tempest struck, a warning carried by unseen hands. As tales of this omen spread, sightings grew more vivid. Some claimed the bird transformed, its form shifting into a graceful figure with tapered ears and flowing hair, a woman who floated above the waves, commanding the winds with a flick of her staff. Sailors, eager to court favor with the unseen wind spirit, crafted humble shrines from sea sparrow bones and shimmering oyster shells, tucking them into the bows of their vessels. As their fortunes improved, the shrines grew grander, taking the form of figureheads mounted on masts, proud intricate testaments of fate, meant to draw Janna's benevolence through the winds. Over time, the mariners settled on a name for their elusive guardian. They called her Janna, a word from ancient Shurima meaning guardian. With belief came power, and with power, Janna's influence expanded. She became a steadfast ally to explorers, steering their ships through uncharted waters and away from treacherous reefs. On lonely nights beneath a starless sky, her warm breezes confronted weary sailors far from home. Yet for those with malice in their hearts, pirates, raiders, and scoundrels, Janna was a force of reckoning, conjuring sudden storms to scatter their ambition. Janna delighted in her role, her joy found in both aiding the innocent and thwarting the wicked. Watching over the oceans of Runeterra gave her purpose as she wove her unseen threads through the fabric of the seas. For as long as Janna could remember, a narrow isthmus divided Valorant's western and eastern oceans, forcing ships to embark on perilous voyages around the southern continent. These treks, fraught with danger and delay, often drove sailors to seek Janna's aid, their offerings and prayers beseeching swift and steady winds to guide them safely around the treacherous southern deep. Meanwhile, the leaders of a prosperous trade city perched along the isthmus grew wary of the delays that slowed commerce. Determined to unite Valorant's seas and revitalize trade, they enlisted the brightest minds. Harnessing the area's newfound chemical wealth, these scientists embarked on an ambitious endeavor to carve a vast waterway that would bridge the oceans, reshaping the currents of trade and travel forever. The rumor of the canal spread swiftly among sailors, like an unstoppable tide. It promised a revolution, an end to long, perilous voyages, the opening of vast trade routes, and the swift transport of perishable goods. The canal would unite the east and west, shrinking the world and heralding a new age of commerce and change. Yet, for Janna, This innovation marked an ominous shift. No longer would sailors rely on her winds to shield their ships from Valorant's cliffs. Shrines once built with reverence fell into decay, their fragments scattered by scavenging gulls. The horizon's blue-bird omen became a memory, and Janna's name faded from the lips of the seafarers she once guided. As the canal's construction stretched on, her strength waned. Storms she sought to summon became feeble breezes. Her bird form faltered after mere moments elapsed. The world she had once protected seemed to forget her, leaving her adrift in a fading existence. Sorry for this break, lore lovers, but I wanted to remind you that if you are enjoying this journey into Janna's lore, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Lion Drag. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. Let's spread the love of lore far and wide. The canal's grand opening was a moment of triumph for humanity. The city fathers gathered, surrounded by a crowd from every corner of the world. Thousands of chemtech devices lined the isthmus, poised to carve the passage that would forever alter Valorant's coast. With a ceremonial flourish, the charges were ignited, unleashing clouds of molten fog and deep, resonant booms. At first, the ground merely trembled, but the rumble grew to a roar. Cracks split the cliffs, and the very earth groaned under the strain. Gas hissed through the air, and then came the torrents, the rushing, thunderous collision of two oceans. Cheers turned to screams as the ground heaved, throwing entire districts into chaos. Waves swallowed the city's edges, and countless lives were swept into the merciless currents, victims of a cataclysm no one had foreseen. In the years that followed, the calamity's cause remained shrouded in uncertainty. Some blamed the volatile chemtech explosives, others a misstep in the engineers' calculations. Whatever the truth, the disaster had reshaped the isthmus, sinking vast portions of the city and plunging its people into the unrelenting clash of western and eastern seas. As the waves claimed countless lives, desperate cries rose above the chaos, voices pleading for salvation. Among them, one name echoed louder than all others, a name that had once been a beacon on the seas, now summoned by hearts filled with despair: Janna. The surge of prayers struck her like a tempest, reigniting a strength she thought lost. She felt herself return with a power greater than she had ever known. Though many were already lost beneath the tides, Janna turned her gaze to the choking streets above, where toxic chem gas crept like a living specter, suffocating those who still clung to life. Without hesitation, Janna dove into the poisonous haze, her presence a ripple in the thick, stifling air. Lifting her staff high, she called upon the winds, summoning a vortex that howled with terrifying force. The winds whipped and swirled, their power pulling at the bystanders who had called her, their fear mingling with awe as her staff shone brighter and brighter. At last, with a resounding crack, she drove her staff into the ground, unleashing a burst of air so fierce it swept the gas away entirely. Survivors gasped for clean air and gazed at Janna, their savior, vowing never to forget her again. Then, as quickly as she had appeared, Janna vanished, leaving behind only a breeze that whispered through the ruined streets. Some claimed they saw a bright blue bird ascend to the city's iron and glass spires, perching there as though to keep watch. Years later, as Zaun's scars healed and Piltover rose above it in gleaming splendor, Janna's name persisted in tales told across both cities. Stories spoke of the wind spirit who came in times of dire need. Her presence felt when the Zaun grey grew thick and unyielding, only to be swept away by unseen gusts. Whispers told of her intervention when a chem baron's cruelty went unchecked, or a victim's pleas were ignored, as sudden whirlwinds scattered thugs and lent aid to the powerless. To some, Janna is no more than a comforting myth, a story of hope spun by Zaun's downtrodden. Yet, others believe fervently, building humble shrines from scrap metal and gears, their faith renewed whenever the wind rattles through the alleys or a bluebird soars above the city. On Progress Day, even skeptics join the ritual, throwing open windows and doors to let her wind sweep out the old and welcome the new. Whether real or legend, one thing is certain: the thought of Janna watching silently over Zaun and Piltover brings solace. For as long as the wind whispers through the city's narrow lanes and shadows, her presence endures, a guardian unseen, her protection felt by all who look to the skies. Thank you for joining me, lore lovers, on this adventure through Janna's windswept tale. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It helps more than you know. And don't forget to join our Discord, where we are building a cozy, inclusive community of lore enthusiasts to discuss stories like this and more. Until next time, may the winds guide your way.